Welcome back, everybody, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Madden 20 franchise rebuild, where we have completed, I'm pretty sure, like 20 seasons now in this series, but we're still not done. If you're still watching the series this deep, you're probably like me, where you really never truly get tired of a series. It's just, you know, a thing where you can keep on going as new players enter, players leave, and certainly last episode we had one of our legends of the series call it a career with the retirement of Gabe Ventura, and that's just the revolving nature here of the series in this format, just always having something new to look forward to and different challenges to overcome. So again, we're going through an off season today where we have some tough veteran decisions to make, which is pretty much happening every single season. I wasn't really counting on Ventura retiring this season. I thought he would wait another year or so, but that will open up potential salary for us at least. Now, before these screens go away forever, I don't know why they have to, Gabe Ventura made 9 Pro Bowls in his career, 5-time top receiver in the NFC, and once he led the league in receptions. I'm a bit surprised it was only once, and I'm glad they keep track of that. But I don't know why this stuff has to necessarily go away. It's just numbers. I mean, just keep them all there. We can't go to like Tyrus Sparks and check his. I'd have to have an old save where he was still in the game. Oh yeah, Tyrone Bradley's finishing up his career with the Panthers. I forgot about that development. Let's see what they have for like offensive line awards here or something in the awards menu. 10-time Pro Bowler, as a 3rd round pick, twice the best offensive lineman. For overall legacy though, here's where we're at this far into the series. Zeke got all the way up here with no Super Bowls in his career. That's wild. Seymour, star development here at number 4 all time. Couldn't get the superstar development. Why don't we check out the rings for the top running backs? 0, 0, 1 for Todd Gurley, 2 for Kamara, 2 for Norton, none for Joe Mixon. But check this out for quarterbacks. None for Lamar Jackson, none for Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs aren't that good in franchise this year for some reason. They have not been good in the stuff I've worked on this year. Alright, let's turn our focus now to the offseason and the challenges we have here, starting with the veterans on our team. Obviously, Jeffrey Kitchen is still on the rookie contract. This should be the offseason where we decide on his 5th-year deal, his 5th-year option. So we can kind of go all in heavy this year on veterans, and it probably won't be an issue at all. The issue is that players at certain positions, like wide receiver, tend to want multi-year deals. So that's where we have to decide, all right, is it worth it to bring back Clinton Mills as he's on the wrong side of 30? Do we sign him to some sort of a mega deal? For sure, we're looking at Sylvester Colombo getting more of a role this season, but receiver is still going to be a need. Colombo can definitely take over for Gabe Ventura, but we should get some competition there as well. At pass rusher, there is Damien Burgess, and I think this would be a great 1-year deal opportunity. I think Burgess has been one of our maybe 2 or 3 best players the last couple of years in the series. I kind of like this little menu here. I never sort by positions, but it does show who's already on the team. That's nice, because I don't want to have to go back and forth between menus to see all this stuff, so that's cool. Like, I've never, seen, Mills and Clancy, that little UI deal there. Somehow I managed to find things I haven't seen yet, despite going through all these seasons. We're going to have to address tight end, but we have Barry Roy, so I'm not too worried about that spot. We're probably going to go make some 1-year deals again for the offensive linemen, and I really don't want these to be rejected, so I'm not lowballing here. We are upping the offer by about $2 million, okay? Leonard Lester still wants more money. Come on, man. You're in the 10th year of your career. You've had to have made $70-80 million. Just take the 14. What, you really want to get 16 that bad? 8-time Pro Bowler, 5-time best offensive lineman. Wait a minute, did I offer him more than the tag? I offered him 14.8 and he turned it down. I can tag him. You can cost yourself $600,000 with that decision. Let's go to Grant Hensley then. 85 overall, 80 strength, 82 pass block. Decent ratings here. Strength is going way down, but he's the number 4 ranked center with a skill point too. I always spend these before I sign players, so it might move the fair offer up a little bit, but that's how I do things here in franchise. Let's see if I can get a deal done here with Hensley. Let's go up, 10% increase in total value. Okay, have fun on the free agent market. All right, Damien Burgess, 86 overall, possible retirement candidate here before too long. I would like to keep him here, of course. Don't want to worry about replacing him right now. I don't want to increase the offer, though. Not much. He's going to test free agency. So let's just see what the tag would be. 19.2. That's steep. We'll go big 1-year deal on the open market. I do wish there was more ways to go about these re-signings, because I would have liked to just increase the offer right there and make a big 1-year offer, but he wants 2. I don't want to go 2 years 30 right now. I want to go 1-year deal. I think Dempsey could be a pretty good value for somebody if we don't sign him. We have some cap space though, so I might just make this a small 2-year offer. 77 overall, he does sign. And we are going to franchise tag Leonard Lester, so I hope his agent has fun telling him how we cost him $600,000, forgetting we had the franchise tag. But that's the way it goes. And let's not forget about quality depth players. Quandre Burgess, 1-year deal. For Clinton Mills, I think we're probably going to go to free agency and try to get a better contract. I don't want to go 3 years right now. All right, 50 mil. I would like to dedicate much of that to big 1-year offers, and we have to start with Damien Burgess. A lot of teams like Clinton Mills as well. What? Didn't he retire? Sylvester Seymour's back? Wait a minute! Wait a minute! I thought I was just seeing things. I went back to find the episode. 124. Seymour retired. He's available right now. Seriously, how did this happen? He retired over a month ago on the channel. Seymour is back. He still has star development. It's the real Sylvester Seymour. Since when can players come out of retirement? I need to make sure I show this in the video. This is wild. By the way, I was also in the previous episode, I found Maxwell Burbank again when he was with the Lions. 68 overall. Now he's MVP with the Vikings. But what led Sylvester Seymour to come back? He's back! This is one of the greatest things to ever happen in these series. I don't know how it happened. I thought, did I remember incorrectly? Did he go to another team? No, he did retire in episode 124. I still don't know how this happened or if I'm missing something, but he's there. He's back. Is there a story? Coming out of retirement is something that happened I think back in Madden 25, because that's when Peyton Manning came out of retirement and I signed him in the Rams franchise. But we've seen it. Sylvester Seymour has come out of retirement. I do not have any clue how. I can't find a single story that talks about Seymour coming back. I'm just shocked right now. Sylvester Seymour is back. Of course I'm going to offer a contract to Sylvester Seymour. This is one of the most amazing things I think I've ever seen in Madden, period. Now let's see if I can get Clinton Mills to come back. Seymour's here. Do you want to come back? This is not going to be easy. What if I make it a 2-year offer instead of a 3? That does make it a lot easier, actually. So I think I will try to increase this a bit more. We're almost at 20 million a season right there. That's enough for the lead. Nobody has offered yet to Grant Hensley. I'm going to come in a little bit low on this offer, but still make it good enough. Like 84 points might get the job done. And then there's still Damien Burgess we'd love to see return. And maybe I should have made the 2-year offer a bit better earlier. But we can still try to get him to come back here on this deal. We can top the Panthers, but we've seen us lose many times in these scenarios. But if we can keep our stars, maybe I can create some cap space elsewhere if need be. Trevor Neal was so good last year, I have to at least extend an offer. But this is going to basically be the rest of our cap space. 170K. And that's if everybody signs. 17 teams here want Lynn Harding. Wow. On to the next stage, everybody. After one of the most shocking developments, Damien Burgess rejects our offer. Clinton Mills has rejected our offer as well. Hensley returns, and so does Sylvester Seymour. But these are 2 big losses for us. Burgess and Mills. Ooh. That opens up cap space. We'll continue the offseason here in a moment, but I have to check out Sylvester Seymour. Where you been? Was retirement that boring? He's back. I want to know... Okay, so here are the final stats for him. This was 2037, which was the year he retired. There are no 2038 stats, no 2039. And checking that last episode that he was in, this is episode 123, I showed the final stats. He had 47 tackles and 8 sacks. So, you know, I don't know how on earth this happened, but Seymour's back and I could not be happier about it. 10 Pro Bowls. He's going for 11 now. I just want to know what happened in 2038 and 39. Like, this is the real Sylvester Seymour. I didn't just edit some player or do anything weird to the game to make this happen. It even has his regression after that year. I checked, he was either an 87 or 88 in the last season he played. So, this regression would match up. He still has a morale boost, actually, which is interesting. Let's make him a captain again. I can't believe Seymour is back. I feel like the game's about to, like, crash or like corrupt my save or something because players aren't supposed to come out of retirement. And there's nothing in the transaction log that says like so-and-so came out of retirement. I've never seen that ever happen. Wide receiver and edge rusher become immediate needs for us. Clinton Mills is going to the Ravens, by the way, on a 3-year contract. And then Damien Burgess, Carolina it is. There is Leo Tucker, who I think has won some awards lately, and he's had some really good production, so he's one option. At receiver, the top player is Quandre Jefferson, who's a veteran, and we could certainly use a 1-year solution here at wideout now. I wasn't counting on this. Jefferson has some decent route running traits, but has regressed a lot. George Poyer, 6'4", 229 pounds, 87 speed, 87 deep route running. Looking at our roster, I think the right move for us is to be a lot more aggressive when it comes to adding a pass rusher. At receiver, at least we still have Clancy, and we still have Barry Roy. So that's more of a thing we could probably wait for the draft. And we'll take a look at how this class looks. But obviously, I have cap space, and I spend it. So I think pass rusher is where this needs to be focused on right away. And why don't we go Leo Tucker? I know he's been really good lately. He has the 90 finesse moves. This is a multi-year contract, so it'll end up possibly being really similar to what Burgess turned down. A little bit less. This is going to be a little tougher than I'd like it to be. There is Kent Meredith, though, who is lower rated, but I could possibly get him on a one-year deal and not have the multi-year contract for Tucker. So if I go to just 1 year, this might work out better. I'll even increase it to try to get this accepted right away. We are also going to give a 1-year offer to George Poyer. Possibly he could have a big role this year. We'll have to see how the draft goes for us. We're going to give an offer now to Adrian Godwin, who is one of the better receiving tight ends available in free agency. And we'll offer him a 1-year contract. For a bit more depth at corner, we're going to give an offer to cornerback Mitch Crosby. Let's go to the draft now. I don't know if I've really shown much for the draft class this year, but let's get to know at least the receivers right now and the pass rushers. Those are the two main needs right now. And here's Lindsey Smith, 6'6", 230 pounds. The speed is not going to be all the way there, but he has a lot of really good traits. Then there are a couple more second rounders like Tremont Gardner and Connor Crothers, and a 7.0 combine grade here, a 4.56 40. Gardner had a 4.34, so here's a speedy deep threat. Not sure there is like a day one number one receiver in this class, but there are definitely a lot of complementary wideouts. On to the next stage, and Poyer accepts the deal, so does Crosby. So a couple more additions to the roster. Looks like we have fifth-year option. This should be Jeffrey Kitchen, and of course we want to pick that up. All right, that's taken care of. And we'll have to continue doing the scouting here for edge rusher. For early round options, there's only one first rounder, and that's Kirby Davis. And I'm not sure we'll be able to select him. He might go a bit earlier than we select. Oh, I guess there's also Rodney Staley here. Okay, late second round projection, late first talent, and has good awareness, tackle, and finesse moves. We have some more second round options as well at a variety of positions. Really hope one day there's just an edge rusher position and I can see all of them in the same spot. Justice Evans skipped out on the combine but has mid-second round talent. We have some players here who are better fits at D tackle. And then at outside backer, Samuel Izzo, a bit overrated but still a second round talent at power rusher. Then there's London Adkins, Joey Andrews, also has some potential. This doesn't seem like the best class for us to get like a real superstar difference maker at these big needs. There's also Julius Barnes. So I don't feel that we're seeing a lot of separation here at our key needs. Here's the available board. And the like 20 through 30 prospects here that are more realistic to be available when we select. Some good offensive linemen, and then there's Kirby Davis, who's probably going to be like the number one player that I think we'd take, possibly even trade up for because he has B+ and mid-1 talent. Who knows if this is a good quarterback class, but there are supposed to be 7 first-round options available, and we've scouted 1. I can't remember why I really scouted Sam Parks, but there's at least 1 first-round quarterback here. Some mid-round running backs as well. All right, 6'9" combine. You got my attention. Avery Penn. We should also think more about offensive line and not having to keep doing these 1-year contracts for veterans. So I might want to look at center. Derek Lewis is a first-round option. It's possible that I go O-line early and then come back around for edge rusher because I might end up with a better combination of players that way. There's more first-round talent along the O-line, that's for sure. Alright, so it's more competitive now for Kent Meredith, and I will want to increase this offer, but I'm still going to stick to 1-year contracts. 107 should do that. Trevor Neal, we might let him go. We have a few young linebackers we can play. So we could ensure that Callaway and Dorsett and Daniels all get on the field. That's fine by me. With cap space, though, why don't we try to see if we can bring back Cassidy Seymour for another season as a backup lineman. Godwin and Seymour accept, and so does Meredith, and that should complete free agency for us and give us a solid roster to go into the draft with. Obviously, we're taking a step back at receiver, but I like the opportunity now to perhaps develop a couple new wide receivers and rely on Clancy and Roy as the veterans to lead the way. The offensive line is still strong. The backfield is amazing. So I felt like losing Mills was something we could handle. It's losing Burgess that I think is a bit more of an issue. Although, we do gain Sylvester Seymour, and I don't think there's a single person that expected that going into this episode. We have a situation at corner that's fine. Like, Hurst can play nickel once again, while Trawick and Byers play safety. And then, like I said, Dorsett, Daniels, Callaway, they can be the 3 linebackers. Really good offensive line options. Here's Jason Jones, who's one of the best values at guard, and he has first-round talent. And then at tackle, Terrell Vaughn, first-round talent here in the 3rd round. So, a few different ways to approach this, but I think coming out of the draft with a good offensive lineman and a good pass rusher is very, very doable. Another good option here in Tyamani Parker. So I guess receiver's probably the one we're gonna wait on. I don't know if there's anybody that really stands out to me. I kind of like Gardner, but we'll have to see. In the 3rd round, there's Stanley Nolan, who's 6'6", ran a 4.53. There's a lot of size at receiver in this draft class. So many tall, deep threats. Hoping to find a good 3rd or 4th round value here, but not much luck yet. And that's it for my points. So, receiver is going to be tough to address, considering pass rush needs and tackle opportunity. All right, everybody, the 2040 NFL Draft is about to begin, and we're all the way back at number 27. If we move up, it's not going to be anywhere here in the top 20. And a quarterback goes number 1. Finally, some realism here in the draft. When's the last time we had a number 1 pick quarterback? Seattle drafts William Spires. Terrence Poole, the corner, goes to Kansas City. Another quarterback, Sam Parks. So that's 2. 2 quarterbacks, 2 cornerbacks. Now Jacob Mercado, a running back in the top 10. 2 tight ends have been taken. The tight ends seem pretty good in this class too. Where's the next quarterback going? Another running back. Always got to have a good running back. There's Colin Hollis going to Dallas. That's 3 in the 1st round. And that's amazing news. It just pushes everybody else down. Derek Lewis is selected, so we're 7 off of our pick now. And I think that we're in a fine spot to stay put. Kirby Davis is my top player, though. So we can get Davis, come back around, and I think it's possible we could even find a way to get receiver as well. That would have to be, though, in the 2nd round. And then would I be able to move up with my 3rd round pick to come back for offensive line? That's probably the best way to make sure I can address all 3 spots. I think somebody like Jason Jones would be perfect. Interior line is what we need, but obviously I move offensive linemen around the different positions. But I think that could become the strategy here. The first thing we need, though, is for Davis to still be available. And if I want to trade up, the only thing I really have, if I want to get these 3 positions addressed would be the 2nd, 4th round pick, really. So would I be able to move up at all with the extra 4? I'd be willing to do it. That's not going to work so easily, though. I thought about even like a future 3, and I would make this trade for a future 3. So let's offer it to Green Bay. That's not going to work either. I thought it'd be a little closer. So hopefully we get lucky. That's good. Jimmy McCoy is off the board. Now the Chargers are on the clock. Sidney Ryans. A little bit closer, but we're still not really going to get it done. What if I throw in the 6th round pick just for fun? No. Alright. Why don't we just sim our way to 27 then and figure it out from there. Kirby Davis off the board. So it would have taken a lot to move up here, and you could make the argument that we should have done it because Davis was the best available, and pass rush is an important need and our greatest need at the same time. So we're on the clock now in the 1st round. How do we pivot? Lindsey Smith, still an option here, but now probably better in the 1st round than the 2nd. And we could wait now for another pass rusher. There's still a 1st round pass rusher here in Rodney Staley. Hey, a player came out of retirement today. Maybe I'll even get a good trade offer here. Moving down from 27 potentially. I mean, this is only 15 picks away, but it's still not that great. Alright, so getting a good trade down offer in this game is rarer than a player coming out of retirement. Good to know. We're going to go with Rodney Staley here in the 1st round, actually. Make sure we address edge rusher, get a day 1 starter. We don't get Kirby Davis, but we do get Staley, who has 82 speed, 74 finesse, and some decent run-stopping ratings as well. Not the most exciting pick here, and I could have strategized it differently, you know, maybe taking the wide receiver instead. There are a lot of ways you could have attacked this draft. But that gives us a little more flexibility, I think, going forward. Like, with such a need there at that spot, I just kind of wanted it addressed. Unfortunately, we had to take our 2nd favorite player. Lindsey Smith off the board here, top of the 2nd round. The 2nd round for us, it makes the most sense to go for an offensive lineman. It just probably takes receivers out of the question is all. So this is where I think I have to really consider trading up. If we're moving up for a receiver, I think it's got to be Tremont Gardner. He has the game-breaking speed. He's only 22 years old. He has good route running, catching, and speed on day 1. He's going to be a high 60s overall most likely. And he could get day 1 playing time as well. Considering he's late 2 projected, early 2 talent, I think this is the exact range he should end up going. So let's try to make a deal. A 4th round pick isn't as enticing for the Baltimore Ravens. Why don't we try the future 3? I like trading with future picks, but they like the pick about as much as the 4. So what if I offer up my 3? Does this start to move the conversation a bit? I would need to keep my 4s though, so I can try to move up for an offensive lineman. So I'd give up the 5, but I can't really go more than this. Unless we're talking a future pick. Yeah, that's still not really working. So I'm going to have to hope he's still there for a couple more selections. Receiver isn't a need for the Ravens. So we got lucky on that one. Cleveland doesn't seem to need a receiver. The Bengals, they don't either. Justice Evans and Dom Kendrick. Dallas doesn't need a receiver. The Giants do. That's a problem. That's pretty close. Packaging up a 3 and a 4 to move up. What if we put a future pick out there instead? Well, this wouldn't make it a success, but we're close. The 2 4th round picks are somewhat okay. I think I want to make the trade. I think I do, because we'd have a chance to play these players pretty early. So getting them now, maybe spending future picks to do it, allows us to start developing players immediately. Unfortunately, that's not going to get it done. Will the future 3 and the current 3 work? Wow. I don't want to go future 2. I can't do that right now. Unless you're okay with just the future 2. Now it's a completely different story. We might be able to make that work, actually. I was already thinking about moving up with the future 2 to come back to get the linemen. Now, we're going to move up here in the second round. We still have our 3 and 2 4s, but next year's 2 is gone. Goodbye. Future 2 and a 5 to move up here so we can select a wide receiver. Tremont Gardner is our selection here in the second round. 69 overall normal development. So 2 normal dev players to this point. Great speed, great downfield deep route running. And hopefully we get him on the field early so he has the best chance to develop. And he's only 22. Next up, we're going to be looking for offensive line. And I have multiple options, but one I really want. And I'm willing to move up. And there he goes. All right, Jason Jones ends up going late second round. He had a third round projection and first round talent. So there goes my number 1 option. We still have players out there. 1 first round talent in Terrell Vaughn. So obviously he is the player I'd now want the most. But if Jones just went, he could be next. And this is just a bit too far out to be trying to trade up. Even for 2 fourth round picks, out of the question. And I already gave up my future 2, so I'm not looking to give up a future 3 at the same time. We just gotta hope that we can handle this. There goes Vaughn. So I'm not really getting my favorite option at any spot because I wanted to address every position. Therefore, I'm kind of left with my second and third options at these positions. So you gotta, weigh the risk there. Do you go all in trying to get maybe 1 or 2 players, or be like me and try to address all of them? This was going to be a trade that would give us a player for the future and not the present at all. So at least there's that. They'll hold the draft next offseason, I'm pretty sure. So now we have to look at pivoting. I would like to select Matt Garrett potentially as a backup quarterback. Really good top 3. You don't get much information, but those 3 skills would make him a pretty good backup quarterback. I imagine he goes pretty soon though. But we could get lucky because there are more quarterbacks, so he could get pushed down the board a bit. Otherwise, if we check out the draft board where we've spent such little time, it seems, we still have options to add depth at pass rusher, D-line in general, and that's probably a good idea. There's also a chance to still look ahead to the future with somebody like Cedric Mclean. Obviously, we just got Sylvester Seymour, so he's going to start again. But there are some values here that could be starters next year. Even Anthony Savage. Treywick is maybe in the last year of his deal with us. The trade value is just not there today. Like, I wanted to move up with every pick I've had so far, and it took a future second round pick to move up the way I ended up doing it. There goes McLean. Wow. So 5th round projection, right? 1st round talent. Gotta go early. There goes Lee Rabb, who was 1 option with our next pick. Matt Garrett goes a few picks before us. And we're back. I think here is probably the smartest spot to go Anthony Savage. He's the best player available. And I think after having to go to like my second options at certain positions, like here's a shot to get a hidden dev player. So I'm going to take it. Anthony Savage has normal dev, but it's a great pick here in the 3rd round. He's 23 years old, and I would look to have him develop and take over for Dwayne Treywick. The 4th round picks now don't seem as valuable, and it seems that, you know, the day 3 picks just aren't that valuable in this game. A lot of players don't make it as far as you think they will. By the 3rd round, a lot of that is over. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So I might look to trade one of these 4th round picks, especially because they're late 4s. Unless there's somebody I could trade up for right now. I see 4th round talents, only 7 players on the board. I have 4 picks left to make. Corner, safety. Yeah, I don't think that I need to trade up here. What I might do, though, is take Cordavius Drake. I didn't finish scouting him, but with B+ finesse moves, like, almost impossible he ends up not being a good value pick. And there he goes, the very next selection. 69 overall to the Giants. Not my best draft, but there were so many ways you could go about this one. Definitely a weird one to kind of plan for. Certainly my plans didn't all work. So here I'm thinking we'll trade out of this pick. Yeah, I'd rather have a future forward because I can use it to trade up in the higher rounds. Too late for that now. Cleveland trades up, and they go Sean Mims from Minnesota. And we're on the clock again. We're actually going to select a 6th round talent here in the 4th round, and this is Jared Stout. We're going to add a 3rd tight end to the team here. I knew he was going to be overrated and low rated in general, but we'll develop him a little bit into a cheap backup tight end. I could have gone safety. We had some players on the board, but we always have too much safety depth. So I didn't think we had to address that again. We've drafted 1 safety. We'll move on now. Still a couple players on the board because I scouted some undrafted players. We will select Avery Penn here at running back. He is a 5th round talent and a 63 overall, 87 speed. I thought it could be a little bit lower, so that's a win. And we'll see if he can get a spot on the practice squad. And for our final pick of the draft, we will go with Walter Silas from Western Kentucky, the wide receiver, who is a 59 overall, and that is a good value deep into the 7th round. 87 speed, 63 catching. He'd have to go on the practice squad. But that is the draft, everybody. What'd you think of it? Could I have attacked this in a different way you think would have been better? I could have gone receiver in the 1st compared to edge rusher. I could have also been more aggressive in trading up for edge rusher. But if we look at this through the benefit of hindsight, we'll see how much I missed by not moving up to get Davis. Kirby Davis, 74 overall, also was a normal dev player, but really high rated at least on day 1. So obviously would have loved to ended up with him, but that didn't work out. In the 2nd round, the top receiver that I liked went, and that was Lindsey Smith. I could have taken him with our 1st round pick. Normal dev for him. 87 speed, some okay route runnings. Really solid day 1 ratings, actually. It might take him a little while to make an impact, but the skill set is there. I think Gardner could be better sooner, just because of the game-breaking speed and the deep route running. We'll have to see. I missed out on Jason Jones, who had hidden dev at offensive line. Wow. That's a loss, but his finesse ratings are extremely low. Very big spread here for his archetypes. Cedric Mclean went a bit earlier than I expected. 70 overall, normal dev, and very good ratings. Good run stopper on day 1. Lee Rabb, normal development. He goes to Green Bay. Low speed, lower strength, 78 power move. I haven't had too much luck developing players with these kinds of ratings. Matt Garrett, 65 overall quarterback, 85 throw power. Yeah, decent backup quarterback, but I think there are players with his skill set in every draft. Alright, that'll take us into the preseason. I will have that in the very beginning of the next episode. But let me know what you thought about this offseason. Of course, I let some key players go, and we'll see how we do replacing them. Receiver is going to be an interesting spot to watch. And then defensively, we've lost some playmakers over the years, but who expected the return of the great Sylvester Seymour? One of the biggest surprises on my channel ever. I didn't expect this, because I didn't even know it was possible. Welcome back, Sylvester Seymour. Let's try to go win one more ring this year. Thank you all for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Certainly the Seymour development makes it one of the more exciting episodes in a while. Please leave a like and subscribe if you are enjoying the series and want more of it, and I will see you all next time. Have a great day.